Here with reaction, Michael Flynn's attorney, Sidney Powell. It's amazing he lost 4 years of his life, but people say, well, he pled guilty. Was he or was he not threatened? They didn't. Now, the FBI, after they ambushed him, didn't think he lied, correct?
Correct. General Flynn is and always was innocent. There should never have been an investigation of him at all. The FBI and government finally admitted that in their motion to dismiss. They had no valid reason to talk to him about anything. He was honest with the agents as they briefed to multiple people in the DOJ and FBI immediately after interviewing him. They knew he was telling the truth. They just proceeded to persecute him to foster the whole Russia collusion and obstruction narrative that the Democrats had begun to taint the presidency of Donald Trump and to try to destroy it and General Flynn and anyone else they needed to in the process. It was absolutely a travesty of justice.
Now, there's a little known fact that I think you need to clear up. People will say, well, he pled guilty, and that's true. Question is, why? Did they threaten his family and say, well, if you don't agree to plead guilty and fall on the sword, we're going to go after your kid and your family? Is that true?
That is true, but there were more reasons for it than that. First of all, they misrepresented the situation to him completely. They hid all the exculpatory evidence from him. They led him to believe that the agents themselves thought he was lying, which the government's own notes and documents show was itself a lie. And then they threatened his son, all in a very compressed period of time after they had bankrupted him through months and months of litigation over a FARA filing that they also made up the false statements about. General Flynn's FARA filing was valid. It was one escapade after the other, an abuse of power by the FBI and then the special counsel operation to target and destroy General Flynn.
Let me ask you about, there appeared publicly to be this split, that you weren't part of the attorneys for Trump on the election investigation fraud issue. And you said you were never part of that, their legal team, although you did work with them in some regard. Let me ask you, and I asked you about this on the radio show today. I've gone over everything I've been able to find out. Nobody liked Dominion voting systems. Nobody. The professor, the 3 Democrats, the state of Texas, they had problems in Georgia, the New York Times, the AP. Why we would use a system that everybody agreed sucked or had problems is beyond me. And I asked you today, you said to me that there were people watching an internet connection in real time, but they can't speak publicly and haven't signed affidavits to that. Why?
Well, there are a number of reasons. Some are within the government, and some are possibly in different roles that require confidentiality. And they're not in a position where they can come forward without certain protections in place. And that's something that the government really needs to give them if they want to get to the truth of all the matters with which we're gathering more evidence every day.
So we really can't hear from them.
People involved in this.
And they can't sign an affidavit until they get these protections. And my question is to you, in a lot of ways, has anybody forensically examined these machines since the election?
We have only been allowed access to a few of them, although my co-counsel from the Flynn case, Jesse Banal, in fact, got a discovery order from the court today in Nevada. He's been doing a great job out there trying to get more information and got the discovery order entered today. So they will be collecting a lot more evidence from Nevada where there was massive corruption. We've got evidence of corruption all across the country in countless districts. The machine ran an algorithm that shaved votes from Trump and awarded them to Biden. They used the machines to trash large batches of votes that should have been awarded to President Trump. And they used a machine to inject and add massive quantities of votes for Mr. Biden. The only reason we really found out how bad it was.
I thought Democrats told us that we like whistleblowers. You're saying that these people can't talk because they're going to lose their job. I would think that they get protection.
They're going to lose their job. Their lives have been threatened. One witness we know of got beaten up and is in the hospital. There have been all kinds of repercussions against people who have come forward to tell the truth. And no, Democrats don't like whistleblowers. They only like liars who claim they're whistleblowers.
They like hearsay whistleblowers. Listen, if these people have something to say, we got to be able to hear them. And, you know, at some point, if everybody disagrees that the voting system is not the best, from the media, Democrats and Republicans, now we have to ask, why did we use them? When these people can speak, I'd love to have the chance to interview them. Sidney, thank you.